let's go into a nice, it's Wednesday, right?
It
it's
is
hump
Wednesday.
day. Hump day, hump day, hump day. I have a heartwarming story to start this day off with. What the heck? God. Dude, listen. So a guy in Chicago, from he has a heart condition. It's his last resort. And you know what? He gets that heart transplant, but it's from a pig.
Does it matter?
I don't know if it matters or not, but here he is right here. It's a modified pig organ heart. Right, and it's in there 3 days later, though. Producer,
it's like
he's
show and
feeling
tell at the
good, right?
doctor's.
He's feeling good. Hold on a second.
Is this the dude?
No, this is not him. So you got the guy. He's got a modified pig heart. It's the first of its kind ever.
So
to happen.
I have two questions. Number one, did the pig actually sign the organ transplant card on his license before it was given away?
Well, I do know this, that 3 days after this surgery, hey, the patient's doing well. Nice. Pig, not so well, right?
Yeah. It's not so well.
Pig, not so well.
You know what? There's plenty of bacon.
Want to talk just a little bit, though, just about what's going on in the volume and some exciting things, I really think. And we're going to first start with the volume. So we see the volume today at 14,400, higher than it was last year. I think that's important to see because one thing we've spoken about here is that we don't expect January and February to be as slow, and I'll use slow, even though it was significantly higher than any other year, as it was last year. I think we have a backlog. We have a lot of freight ready to go. There's going to be a lot of tenders going out there, a lot of tenders being sent out. Again, will we be able to keep the drivers on the road to get them delivered on their day? We look at last year. You can see us in the green last year. We're more volume than we were last year. And again, normally, around this time, we're under that 10,000 mark. 9,700, 9,500 is where that freight is at. So again, we go back and we look at it and we just try to see, okay, well, what did it do last year? Well, last year is the green market. And again, that volume just stayed so much higher than it had any other year in the purple. That's normal. Look at the volume up there. We started up just a little bit higher right now. And again, Dave, I'm going to say that we should expect it to kind of just go along that same coast, peaking a little bit higher, going down a little lower, but really hanging on that green, a lot of volume. And when I push this out here and we look at the rejection rate, another important thing to see. Last year, we were hitting about 22%. This year, 20%. So rejections are very high still. And when we think about what that means, every other year down there, that 8%. 8% rejected rate of 10,000 loads. So you're not even rejecting that much freight, and it's 3/4 of the volume that we have today, right? So you have all this volume today, and my God, 300% more freight being rejected than it was normally. So the supply chain is going to continue to stay kind of tight out there. I don't think pricing is going to change much. I think it is what it is at this point. I think we put the rate increases in last year. I think many of the shippers got it. The spot market, again, if you're a shipper out there, it's something you don't want to play with. Get your consistent rates out there to your carriers, buy your freight, buy your power today, and get ready for it for the next year. Again, if you believe in our data, the data that we show here from FreightWave SONAR, it really points back to August of 2020 as the new norm. These numbers right here, they ain't coming back in a while. Forget about them. Don't focus on those. Focus on the new trend. Hey, welcome back to BCB Live, the safest station in the nation. Drive safe, Dave. A little bit of anger issues going on this morning, but it's okay. You know what? I forgive you.
No, I know you do forgive me. I personally am having a little bit of issue this morning with some, I don't know.
Gas?
Huh?
Gas? What's going
not
on?
gas. I just...
We're here. One thing we bring to you, everybody here is iron sharpens iron kind of an attitude inside. We're here for one another. As men, we've got to continue to work that. Drive safe, Dave. What is wrong?
I just, one of the commandments is thou shalt not use the Lord's name in vain. And I feel like it's being broken here on a regular basis by none other than Sir Rick. I just truly do believe that.
I do not. I don't know if I've ever done that. You know what? I don't know where this has gone bad. No, not a better time right now than to bring in Buckle Up Bob with some safety news.
Wow.
Bob, sorry, you had to jump in on that
that's
side.
good.
Dave, get your
I
hand out
forgive
of
you,
the way.
Dave. Yeah.
Okay, y'all. I feel forgiven by both of y'all. Thank y'all.
Hey.
My ring.
Oh,
Wrong religion.
yeah. Oh, man. Hey, we talked a little bit about the snow coming, folks. So we got to be ready this weekend. Saturday, Sunday looks like the worst days. We'll continue to give updates as we get through the week and see what the forecast is actually going to do. Again, it's forecasted. Looks like Sunday's going to be the dangerous day with some freezing rain in the Carolinas. So be ready out there. If you didn't hear the first part of the weather, be ready for that freezing rain this weekend. We've been talking about too fast for conditions. And again, it looks like it's perfect timing. But tip 3 is about the exit and merge points. We kind of touched a little bit briefly on it yesterday. But remember, the posted limits there in these curves and these merge points are for regular passenger vehicles. They're not for the big rigs. You got to be well under that, 5-10 miles under that speed limit to be safe. And then one of the neat statistics was, ramps and interchanges only make up about 5% of the all of the highway mileage out there, right? But they account for 20 or 30% of all large truck crashes. So 20 to 30% of all the truck crashes happen at these merge and exit points. We've seen many times where the passenger vehicles are taking 3 and 4 lane exits. We've seen trucks do it on occasion. We're going to see one today where they're passing on a exit ramp. So again, it's just all the things you got to know. These are hot spots for potential really bad accidents. And again, 20 to 30% of them happen at these areas, even though they don't make up the majority of the highway miles. So it's just knowing the situation, right? Too fast conditions. Merge points usually has some traffic, usually has somebody either distracted, not knowing where they're going, and then all of a sudden see their exit, and no one ever thinks, just go to the next one and turn around and come back. They all want to jump in there and try to make it. So you've got to be ready for that. Be prepared. Just like intersections, this driver shows a lot of patience, keeping the space, right? And then the four-wheeler gets impatient and started way too early on the solid white line, and now is going to pass on the entrance ramp there. So again, watch this. You can see the sign there, right? And this driver does a great job just sitting back, being patient, and then the four-wheeler says, nope, got to go around these trucks. And I also see the two trucks, you don't know what's going on, but you always see this happens a lot when there's two trucks, drive safe, occupying both lanes.
Yeah, it's just a little bit of impatience by the four-wheelers, not understanding that, a slow pass on the left or the right, as long as they're passing. I mean, I just don't understand this impatience trying to get around, this hop skip around on the deal. It just doesn't make any sense. No. It's dangerous to all. And as this truck tries to move over, this guy's coming in. So you've got everybody merging into the same lane at the same time. It just makes it hard and more difficult for everybody out there.
And I think you start to see the lane disappear there right there. So he didn't have much room to do that. Good job of that driver. Folks, this tailgating is tailgating. Count. We talk a lot. One of the drivers said, hey, just count, right? And if you count, you don't get a second here. And it stays for quite a while. You've got to back off of this. Again, we talk about the merge points. There's all kinds right here. So all kinds of things can happen, and we're tailgating a vehicle in front of us. You just got to back off and be patient. And here, again, great job. There's a sign that intersection's coming ahead. I travel this highway every day, every night, every morning. Can be a nightmare with traffic, and stale green, and the driver's ready. Great job there, being able to stop, right? Pay attention to the sign there. Well back. Just a good job at knowing the situation and being able to stop at an intersection. Just great job.
Knowing the technology, Bob, that we have today in this industry, right? Why wouldn't you, as a trucking company, as a truck driver, why wouldn't you have the driver facing? For a second, let's just take out, the personal stuff. What if my wife I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the camera that just points at the driver that says, hey, you know what? You're on your cell phone. Hey, you're falling asleep. Why wouldn't you want that if that's all it could do? Is there anything that worries you about that you don't want you don't want to see you use your phone? I mean, talk to me about that if you're out there. Raise your hand, Dave. What are your thoughts on that? I mean, why wouldn't you have that technology?
I mean, we do have the technology. I hear all subjects, all topics, and all this, but if you have an
I'm
opportunity
saying for those two things only is all I'm talking about.
Oh,
if
yeah.
that camera could face at you and just look at you, the driver,
Right.
and just tell on you when you're getting distracted, when you're falling
Right.
asleep, when you're using your cell phone, nothing else.
Yeah, so
Nothing else.
much like when you hard brake, it is an incident
Yes.
in which it identifies an action that is unsafe behind the wheel.
Yeah, would it scare you? Somebody get on the phone and talk to me. What don't you like about that? Is it? I don't believe it's intrusive at that moment.
No.
I don't believe it is. It's there to help coach and help make you safer. Buckle Bob, you talk to anybody about that in what you do?
Yeah. And you know, I talked to drivers that have had them, and most of the technology out there, they only come on the inward facing when the truck is in gear moving forward. They, like when you're stopped and sit, the inward facing doesn't work. And then some drivers said, well, I've got the curtain that I can cover it, you know, for the privacy. So yeah, it is a good thing. I think a lot of it, from what I've heard in the discussions, is fear of termination. A lot of companies won't use the technology for coaching. They look at it for reasons to get rid of people. You know, we've done a great job here of just coaching the driver.
You know, so I'll go to and I would say, you know what? Let's get a company on here that has the driver facing camera. I don't believe any company today would use that to get rid of drivers.
hope-
That could have been the reason years ago when it 1st came out, but that today again is not the reason why. It has to be used to coach, and I don't believe companies today are using that to get rid of somebody. They're probably using it to coach. In a market right now where you struggle to get drivers at, you're not looking to get rid of anybody, right? I mean, you're not doing that for that. Hey, producer, talk to me.
Yeah, we got Justin Hayes on the line. What do you got
What's
for us,
going on,
sir?
Mr. Hayes?
Good morning. How are y'all?
Doing well, sir. How are you?
I'm good. So, in my opinion, I believe y'all hired us to do a job. We should do it to the best of our ability. We are professionals, Class A professional drivers. You shouldn't be on your phone. You shouldn't be, doing whatever. I can understand getting tired sometimes. If you're tired, pull over. I think a lot of that, falls on our shoulders as professionals to do our job. Now, regardless of my wife being back there in the back and maybe waking up and the camera goes off, I'm just saying we should do our job every day to the best of our ability. And to me, also, it's kind of intrusive. Like, I'm going to use Dave Dover because we all like to pick on Dover. Dover don't have a camera in his face all day. What if he wants to sit in his office and take a nap and he's on salary? It's just, I don't feel like everybody everywhere has a camera in their face all day. And sometimes I feel like our industry, we're so heavy on us. It's do this, do that, safety equipment this, safety equipment that. And it's like all the responsibility, and it just everything keeps piling on and piling on. And what can we do for the driver? What can we do to the driver? What can we do to the driver? You hire the right people. You have great guys in the office hiring the right people, or should be hiring the right people.